Hey Shada, I'm Paul. I watched your video. I gotta say, before I start going over the paragraphs you talked about, I respect the grind in starting your own business and trying to expand it. It's a huge investment, both in terms of capital and time, and just labor overall that you're putting into it. So I really do respect it. Now, starting with your video itself, outside of that, and go to the rubric, your introductory paragraphs were all solid. You introduce the question as well as what you're going to talk about, and it flowed nicely. Your bodies were very solid. I really like your bodies, actually. They're my favorite part of the entire videos because I was able to relate to you and sympathize with you quite a bit. For instance, in your second body paragraph, in which you're discussing what motivates you, you talk about your family and how they've treated you well and how they've done their very best to bring you up, and how you want to pay them back and be able to provide for them later on, and if you have a family. And I think it's a very noble thing, and I really appreciate someone who does something like that, and I want to root for you because of that. And I think your bodies really helped me become more interested in you as a whole. And pretending this is a job interview, for instance, or another environment where your speaking skills were necessary outside of just for 10 points on assignment, I think that you would have done an excellent job on that. Now, your conclusions were alright because I could tell when you were ending a sentence, or when you're ending a paragraph, but the problem is I kind of had to mentally focus really intently in order to try to understand when you're ending a paragraph. I think it would help you out if you would just say at the and in conclusion, or just have some sort of transition sentence to mark the end of one of your answers, because it helps the audience follow along with your video. And like I said, I understood your video quite well, because I really was trying to listen on it and be able to give my honest input on it. But an audience, let's say, who isn't so inclined to do that, may not know when you're ending a sentence and may have more trouble following along. And I think it's important to remember that you always know more about your speech than your audience does. So you have to make sure that you help cater to them the best you can so they can understand your speech. But that's something minor, really. I say it's an all right thing, but you did all you did all right. That's nothing to be ashamed of. What else is there? So I do know you spoke very fluently. I could tell you had maybe not rehearsed it per se, but you had practiced the speech in your head while prepping it on your paper, your note card, and it really showed. You had a very good verbal fluency, and you had good command of the English language overall, and I think that was very commendable. You did break one guideline, or I don't know if it was a break necessarily, but you were very close at least to breaking it, and that is having your whole waist up, visible to the camera. You were about right here, so about from the belly button up, maybe a little bit lower, but you weren't waist up necessarily. And I made the same mistake as well, which is why I mentioned it to you. And again, it wasn't a major infraction, but I think I'd bring it to your attention just so you don't make the same mistake next time. And overall, very good work on your paragraphs. You really interested me into yourself as a person, and I got to see a bit of your personality as well. The caring side of you.